All right, y'all know what it is. It's time. It's time. It's time for the Wrestling Realm Now podcast. Brian H. Waters here. Brother Hugh, he's backstage. Brother Brandon, he's coming. And guess what? Let's get the intro started.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes! What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
Oh, yeah. Woo! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wrestling Realm Now podcast. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. I'm here with the one, the only, the H to the A to the S to the T-R-E-T-H-E to the 3-R-D. Brother Hugh, as you can see,
Get it right.
is excited for USA baseball. He's probably like the
Yeah.
only person excited for baseball. You know, my man Adam Jones not playing with them no more, so I don't care.
don't
But I'm
matter.
just saying.
It don't matter. Griffey's there. And
Well, he
got
there?
Yeah, he's the hitting coach.
Oh, okay. So you know,
And-
all right, cool,
and
cool.
and my man Cedric Mullins
I know
is up
Mullins
there
is there.
doing his thing. Yeah, he's
All
doing
right.
his thing.
Okay, so they got some names. Yeah, man, how you feeling? I know Brother Brandon will be here in a second. Y'all know how we do. It's 10:30. I'm ready to go because guess what? I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired.
You tired?
I'm tired. So I'm chewing on some Skittles. I got an energy drink. It's been a long day.
Son, Skittles sound so good right now.
The gummies.
Oh my gosh. See, you messing me up already, B. But see, I got me a nice little.
B.
Yep, I know what I did. Got me a nice little smoothie over here. I don't even know
Okay.
what's in it. It's kale, cranberries, bananas, apples, little ginger. You know what I mean?
Little ginger.
We'll switch it up.
You
Orange
ever
juice.
have the Smoothie King?
Yeah,
They got a kale
it.
smoothie.
I had
That's
it
the only
earlier.
time I had it. Okay.
The Island Green. Yeah, I had that earlier.
Yeah, I haven't been there in so long.
It's good, bro. It's good.
But yes, I used to go all the time when I was working at the previous place of employment. So yeah, but I haven't been there in a minute.
Okay. Can you hear that?
But the fan, yes.
Yeah. All right, let me turn it off.
And the millions and millions of people listening, they can probably hear it too.
All right, hold on. Let me turn it off.
Well, you know, ladies and gentlemen, while he does that, I'll get into logistics. As you know, as we always do, as we start the show off, I'm not going to do it like the real Dwayne Allen because that's his stick, and I got my stick, and Brother Hugh will have his stick if he's leading, and Brother Brandon have his stick. So this is how we're going to do it. First, I want y'all to go to WrestlingRealm.com, and I want y'all to check out the merchandise. Right there, you can get the brand new Raw-inspired T-shirt. One of my favorite shirts. I have to say, it's comfortable. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. Shout out to my boy Jermaine in the building. Make sure y'all follow him and make sure you check out his writings. You know, I'm gonna be honest, I ain't really interested in the Houston Texans, but because Jermaine is writing, I'm interested in what he's writing. And you know, he does a very, very good job. I'm so lost in football, I didn't realize that like GM or coach was like black, but that's neither here nor there.
I bet you realize Zeke. I bet you realize Zeke got released though.
I heard about that. I was happy when the Cowboys got Zeke. I was a Cowboys fan at the time. So, but let me finish my opening. WrestlingRealm.com. You can get the shirts, Proud Wrestling Fan shirt, the Wrestling Realm logos, of course. And then, of course, since Dwayne made it, he made the graphic. He took time to make the graphic. It is up now. I'm gonna just go ahead and share it. The Jack Daddy Brian H. Waters shirt. So y'all can do that. Y'all got so many jokes. I tell you this though, if it's here, I ain't wearing it to Wally Mania, but it'll get worn in LA.
Just
Also,
make sure you put lotion on, because I don't want your elbows ashy like Omos's knuckles.
let me show you something. This stays right here at the desk, just in case, to make sure.
Ooh,
So,
ooh.
also, patreon.com wrestling_realm. You can get all the content from myself and the real Dwayne Allen. He's writing some content like, he does this wrestling figures Wednesday. So make sure y'all check that out. You can also get, like I said, Brian H. Ward starts. It's been a while since I wrote something or did a show there, but
It's
me and
been
Brother
a
Hugh, we,
while.
we we coming up on that absolutely great WrestleMania 28 story. I promise you will not want to miss that. And of course, SeatGeek. Make sure if you're going to WWE, if you're going to the MLB,
If you're
anywhere
going
you want,
anywhere, any event that sells some tickets, use that code right there to save you some money.
well,
$20 off of $50 purchase.
and for the people listening on the podcast, it's Wrestling Realm is the code. It must be over $50. But use
Yep,
that.
yep,
You can
yep.
only use it for your first time, but y'all know how to use emails. I'm just leaving it at that. So make sure y'all do that. Shout out to the people that's been using it and saving money. Hey, my boy Matt Reichels in the building. What up, Matt? Matt, I missed him in DC, but we'll catch up very soon. We have another announcement to make, but I will let the person here I will let him do that announcement as he gets here. As he is here, and let me there we go. Oh wait,
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta add him in the stream. Brother Brandon is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Brother Brandon, how you feeling today?
A little tired, but how you doing, brothers? How's everybody?
Good. I told you, I don't mess around. We getting started, man.
I know. If you see the Deadpool keep coming up, don't joke because I'm drinking from a Deadpool mug and I got a flash shirt on. Don't
I
judge
don't
me.
know
Just
what
know that I
none of
like
that
busting.
means.
Me neither. I'm just gonna roll with it.
So
I mean,
this
I've
is
worn
Marvel,
still
and this is
lost me.
DC. It's
Still
like
lost me.
it's like watching it's like watching AEW and WWE at the same time.
Oh, see, there you go. Now you're speaking my language.
But some
Also,
hardcore fans might be like, "Oh my god, he's not a lawyer."
Son, this joint good.
also want to
You
let
know it's
people
good
know.
when you take a sip and you just look at it like,
Ew, we
God
don't. We rather
damn.
not. I'm gonna get back to my announcement. That's
Okay, back to you.
yeah. Make sure y'all check out my 5th anniversary episode of Break It Down with Brian H. Shout out to the great Gerard Bonafide. I mean, Gerard, I keep calling him Bonafide because that's his Twitter. Make sure y'all follow him at Bonafide. But shout out to Gerard Bonner who came and joined me. We talked about WrestleMania 18, and it was a lot of fun going back, reliving that one. And I have to say, he brought up some points that I didn't even realize. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but just a few points that I didn't even realize as I was watching, because I've seen the show a gazillion times. But this was a very, very good one. So yeah, make sure y'all check that out. It's hard to believe. I'm like, wow, that's podcast. I literally was sitting around on Facebook and I saw my memories 2-year anniversary for Break It Down with Brian H. I was like, wait, that was 3. Wow, it's been 5 years since I've been doing a show. I think I need to do a show. But because the Wrestling Realm Now podcast is here, I don't have to do it every week the way it was. That was the recap show for the brand, but now we have this one. Now, there's a special date coming up. We're less than a week away. Brother Brandon, you want to inform the people?
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, like, no, I'm not going to do that. Next Tuesday, which we know
You
is
had charisma and it scared you.
It did. So, as we know, next Tuesday date is March the 21st, which means 3, 2, 1. It's a countdown. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to announce that we will be letting the world see the new show called Championship Culture, with its first episode being a live stream. And it's going to be a big reveal that you would want to take a part of. And you don't want to miss this because it's going to be some real reactions, not to be confused with Realness Reacts. It's going to be live and in time reactions to the Wrestling Realm having another set of championship belts, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But this show will dive deep into every belt has a story. Everybody knows why they want a belt. Every wrestler wants a belt, but this show will definitely let you take a deep dive into the 100+ collection that I personally own. But it'll share some stories about what each belt means to me. What does it mean when I purchased it? Why did I purchase it? And where it takes me back in that history. It will have a lot of special guests. Yes, when I talk about the infamous Winged Eagle, Brian H. Waters will be the special guest because we're going to go back and forth about this Winged Eagle so the world can see my thoughts on it and they can see why Brian loves it so much.
That belt ugly.
I said Winged Eagle.
Wow.
Big Eagle is a different take, but that's coming on Tuesday.
I have a request for that show. I want to tag
that?
team that one. I'll tell you off air. I don't want to be the guest myself.
You don't want to be by yourself? We can work that out. But Tuesday. It's going to go down. A special live stream with a big reveal. I'm excited. I'm excited because I've seen the final project, and I just want to get the Wrestling Realm to see the final project in person. So trust me, it'll be worth the wait.
Worth the wait. Man, all right. Appreciate you, Jermaine, for coming through. You say you gotta go, but you gotta catch this. Definitely appreciate that, brother. Appreciate all the support.
Always check us out on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube the day after.
Yeah, definitely. Also, I just got WWE 2K, so you can check out. I'll be live streaming from time to time. Usually, when I play it, I just hit the button. But it was funny because earlier today, on Wednesday Worldwide, we was talking about it. And Ben was like, I didn't get the game yet, but here's what I want you to do. He said, put Yokozuna in the bloodline because I want to see him throw up the ones. So they don't come out with the ones, but they do it at the end. So that was pretty cool. And so we got Taquan in the building says, I thought the title, it was time for Rey Mysterio to lay it down. I was happy for a second. Yeah, title of the show is time for Rey Mysterio to lay hands on Dominik. Shout out to the Flex Zone listening in or watching in, I should say. But now, as we got all the logistics out the way, I want to give a special congratulations to the one, the only Chaz the Don Evans, winning his very first of many singles championships in his career, as he recently went and grabbed the 1CW Cruiserweight Championship. Chaz is, part of Pure Ignorance, and he was on the show about a couple months ago at this point. The time's starting to run together, but he was right here on the Wrestling Realm. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all give a huge shout out and congrats to Chaz the Don Evans on his championship victory. Gentlemen, it's one of my favorite parts of the show. What y'all watch this week? Let's start with you, brother Brandon, since you was late.
I knew you was going to do that. So before I knew it was WrestleMania season, but when I feel like I want to go on my YouTube rant, I usually go back into a time when we can actually look. And I went back and rewatched P.D. Williams versus Chris Sabin because I wanted to see if it still held the test of time. And watching it now, and I would challenge you brothers to go back and watch it, TNA did such a good job in building the matches through the match. Like, I didn't realize they have wrestled each other. It was almost a year that they had been going back and forth in some way, shape, or form in different iterations. And then it was, remember, the whole point of that storyline was the Cradle Shock versus the Canadian Destroyer. And all I kept thinking about was that time we saw it in person. And it was just like, wow, they really told this story. Like, watching it, I was like, I wanted to see that match more than I wanted to see anything else. So I went back and watched a couple of those matches, and I was just like, they kept countering each other. I was like, can these two guys get any better? And I know recently my opinion has changed about one of the wrestlers, but I wanted to go back and watch some. I wanted to watch some TNA, so I started going on my little journey down YouTube and watching that. So, but then Brian reminded me of some WrestleMania moments, so I clicked that on today. But we'll keep that for later on.
Okay, brother Hugh.
WBC and Kane.
W what? WBC and Kane.
WBC
Oh,
and Kane.
this is a wrestling show. You
You
threw me
asked me
off.
what I watched.
But he's so serious about it.
Right.
He's dead
Next-
serious. He's so serious. He didn't break his character at all.
Not at all.
Man.
Not at all. Y'all know I had to
Well-
check into that Kane documentary, the Legends documentary.
Mhm.
Loved every bit of it. Might watch it again. But
Just so the world know, if you don't know, Kane and Dolph Ziggler are Hash the Third's Chris Jericho. Just
Yep.
put it out there.
LA
Sorry
Knight
to
is
hear that.
LA Knight is moving up on that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I didn't
Yeah,
expect
man.
that one. I thought he was gonna say Chad Gable, but okay.
Oh yeah, Chad's pretty good, but LA Knight, he's special, bro. I just wish he wasn't so old. He's that Ken Kennedy that the WWE wanted from back in the day. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that makes sense. It's funny,
hopefully,
we actually-
yeah, we was just talking about it earlier.
Mhm.
Hopefully, he won't subdue to injuries, or whatnot, or the foolishness in the back. But yeah, he has it. Push him.
Well,
What-
man.
What you watch, B?
So here you go with that B stuff. Goodness, so full disclosure, I was talking to Trika, my best friend, right? And I told her how much I hated it, and she goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, you all," I said, "Yeah." Just kind of like back then, it's just like, okay, you said it, whatever. She said, "Well, now I ain't about to call you that no more." And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "It's Brian H. or Brian H. Waters, B. Waters, not B. Anybody can be B." But this week, so I definitely obviously watched a lot. But one of the things that kind of stood out that I went back in time was the Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart.
Okay.
It's just a match that's just WrestleMania 13 as a whole is bottom tier to me, but that match right there was just phenomenal, right? And because of Bret Hart, because of Stone Cold, Bret Hart's last WrestleMania, I will even watch the main event just because Bret Hart got involved. But you watching Bret and Austin just going at it back and forth. It's people always say, "Oh, this should have been the main event." It's obviously the reason why it wasn't the main event. I would say that should have been the match for the title and been the main event. You know what I mean? Even with Bret winning, you could have done, and I know you wouldn't want to really do that back to, in a series of 4 years, right? Where the winner loses the Royal Rumble, wins the Royal Rumble, loses at WrestleMania, and comes back and win it the next year. But overall, that was what I watched, and I tell anybody go back and check that out. Obviously, I watched a lot of WrestleMania 18 to get ready for yesterday's show. Hogan Rock. That's all I'm gonna say. One of the greatest matches. But speaking of WrestleMania, as we get ready to start the show, gentlemen, I want to ask Brother Hugh, starting off with you. What is your go-to WrestleMania match or a couple matches? When you think about WrestleMania, it's WrestleMania season. What's the WrestleMania match that you go to?
Y'all gonna hate me, but y'all already know who's in it. But
You guess Kane?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kane versus Undertaker the first time.
Woo! What a classic.
What was that? What was that 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. That was a good match. That was a great. It told like a hell of a story, even to all the way down to the last pin. Kane still almost jumped out of that. Like he was. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you as you talk about that match. Was there anything when you watched this doc, because that made me it brought me back to that match, right? Was there anything that you didn't know or something you noticed different that the documentary was able to point out to you?
I can't think of anything right offhand.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't think of anything right offhand. No.
Yeah.
But man, like that's one of my go-tos. And what's the match that started off 14? It was
it was Battle Royal.
No, what or was it the
Was it the Battle Royal?
No, it was Taka Michinoku and Gulo. Or
Oh
something.
yeah, I know. I forgot his engine. Yeah, I know exactly.
Something like that. Yeah, but low key, that match was fire
Mm.
to me. I mean, I was like, hold on, lightweight, light heavyweight. Taka was getting it in back in the day.
So that was
man.
the second match. Yeah, that was
It was the
Gula.
second. Yeah. But I was like, hold on, you know what I mean? That Taka was doing this thing back in the day. I see why he had the
Yo,
belt for a while.
he was that whole summer. You know, especially he was beefing with Kaitan Tai, and then he joined him.
Yep.
And then I
But
think
yeah,
it was Christian who beat him for the light heavyweight championship.
I'm trying to think. That's the only ones that jump out at me right now because I do remember watching 14. I watched 14 through maybe 16.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only ones that really jumped out at me.
Okay. Remember when we used to always talk about how X-Pac slipped?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that the whole 8th grade year, the rest of the year. Like, yo, you see when X-Pac came out there and started doing his dance and he slipped.
Oh, that was a good moment right there. What was that? 16?
That was 16
Was it?
before the six intergender tag.
But I mean, and I was about to say when Triple H in China turned on him. That was 16, right?
That was 15.
That was 15. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They did
I'm
the
always
double
impressed that
tag.
you remember these numbers.
That
I'm
was.
always-
I have a PhD in WrestleMania. I can tell you the name,
Yeah,
the city,
he
the
do.
number.
He do.
And,
He
you know,
do.
WrestleMania 15 in Philly. You know, you know. So
The
I mean,
one before that was in Boston.
Yep. I've watched them enough and studied them enough. Had between the magazines. It's my favorite show. You know, shout out to Chalkline for the jacket, man. This is I think my third Chalkline jacket. Is probably my favorite one. But then again, there's the Raw jacket too, because that
I'm
Raw
about
one
to say
is
that
nice.
Raw one is fire.
That's a
bro.
coat though.
Yeah, that was
like,
but that one was like, whoa. When you see it, it make you step back, like, oh,
yeah, it's
oh,
a
that
whole
got some-
coat.
yeah.
I got
But you,
excited a
brother
little
Brandon,
bit.
what's your go-to WrestleMania matches? That I should say that don't involve Jericho, but I'm not.
No, I'm gonna give it because you know what? I told you something earlier, but I'm gonna tell you the one that I really enjoy and I can watch it anytime.
Mhm.
Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. Even though it was on the pre-show, and that should have been on the main card. And that I don't know, and you might have to correct me on this. Was Triple H booking 205 Live at the time? Was that during his time?
Yeah. I'm not sure. He probably was doing NXT.
Because I don't know who was booking it, but that whole heart and soul. Because remember, the Cruiserweight title was vacant for like
Mhm.
2 or 3 months leading up to that, and they had that whole tournament, and they built the whole 205 around Cedric Alexander being the soul and Mustafa Ali being the heart. Going into the match, I'm like, I don't know who's going to win. And to see Cedric come out on top, I was like, and they laid it all on the line, and you can see people filling in the background. But I was so
Mhm.
into that match from when the bell rang. I was like, this is going to be a show stealer, and I just wish they would have got that dude on the main card, but they made it to WrestleMania, so that's one of them. Another
It's
one,
not on Peacock, unfortunately, because I just rewatched it for a project, and I had to go
not
find
on
it.
there. It's not on
Mm-mm.
there
Nope.
because it was on the
They didn't-
pre-show. That's why.
Yep. Remember,
That's
Austin Aries was dealing with the same thing the year before. Him and
I'm
I'm looking right at Neville,
Neville.
and I was there for that one, and you felt it in like the arena, like, wow, this is a good match. This like it set the tone for the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny
Yeah.
because before you give your second match, your the Jericho Shawn Michaels is coming up on my screen now, WrestleMania 19.
So without me saying a Jericho match, another one that I go to, one of my go-tos, is Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels.
Gosh.
And I'm gonna say this, and this is going to put it all into perspective. It was two icons doing their greatest hits, and they were paying homage to both of their careers. Like when you go back and watch the story, and even I remember just being out of breath at that last moment when Rick was like this, and Shawn did the infamous, "Oh, I'm sorry, I love you." I was like, "Oh, it's really over."
Yeah.
I was just like, "Oh my!" And in my mind, watching, I'm like, that was a heck of a way for Ric Flair to go out. And then a few months later, it was like, well, never mind. But that moment was just like, wow. the whole match, you know, Shawn Michaels selling for him, Ric Flair selling, and that's when I dare say it. I felt like, you know what, he still got it. He still got it. It's a good way for him to end. And just like, who was it that said they always wanted to walk away, be able to walk away? Was it Kurt Angle? Who said that they always want to be able to walk away from the business and still walk when they walk away?
I'm not even sure.
One of them wrestlers. Somebody, but I felt like they could both walk away. Like if Shawn Michaels never wrestled another match after that, I'd have been okay. You know, so those are two. I ain't gonna tell you about
2 years later was supposed to be.
I ain't gonna tell about my other Jericho matches for WrestleMania.
No, go ahead.
Nope, because you probably hate the one with him and Christian. I know you probably did. Do you hate the one with Jericho and Christian?
I just recently watched it.
Was it as good as you remember?
I'll let you find out on March 20, whatever day, the last Monday in March.
So I feel like they needed more time, but it's okay. It was a good match. And also, this is a stretch. Everybody might think I'm going to say Shawn Michaels and Jericho, but I'm not. I'm going to say Shawn Michaels and Kevin Owens because I enjoyed the match. Even though it didn't look Kevin Owens and Jericho.
Oh, you said Shawn Michaels and Kevin Owens. Like,
I'm sorry, Jericho. Jericho. Even though I know it could have been better had it been for the Universal title, I still enjoyed it because Kevin Owens and Jericho, they went out there like it was going to be a WrestleMania moment.
Brandon. I think you are the only person who enjoyed that match. Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho didn't enjoy that match.
No, they didn't, but I enjoyed it because they were in a tough spot. It was the second match. They got the title taken from them. It was the second match, right? Yeah. They got the title taken away from them. They did the best with what they could. Like, it was better than a Raw or SmackDown match. Was it WrestleMania quality? They did what they could in the time that they allowed.
So I don't want to hear the whole second match thing, and I'm going to tell you why. Brother Hugh literally just named a match that was second, and it was okay. Seth Rollins and what was it? Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. I believe that match was second at WrestleMania 34, and it was okay. That's Chris Jericho complaining.
You think so?
Yes.
Because you know why I feel like with the second match? This is why, because they had so much deflated from them.
Okay, I can give you that, but like just the match placement on the card, that's the part I'm not buying.
No, I'm just saying because they had so much taken away from them, and people always say it was bad because it was the second match. It was bad because like you had everything taken away from you, and then you expect them to still go out there and put it on a 7-star match. They were already deflated by the time they got there. So I enjoyed it because I wanted to see the blow off, and I'm like, all right, what can they do now? We know it's not for the title. Give me something.
Yeah, because I'm just like, no. But
I ain't ranking up high. I'm just saying it's one of the matches I'll go back and watch.
I just saying.
The list Jericho was one of my most entertaining Jerichos. The list. Uh-oh, did you get knocked out?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, but the list, I think the Jericho with the list was probably one of the most, almost as much as, remember his WCW days with his list of his holds and every other one was armbar.
Oh, okay, never mind. I see it's working.
Yeah.
That list Jericho was the best.
Oh yeah. That was funny. My bad. Shout out to Matt. Matt says Brett versus Owen is a go-to match.
Oh yeah.
You know, for me, I have quite a few. I mentioned Rock and Hogan, Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan. That's a match. That's a match like you get a new TV, you put that on the screen, like I'm gonna throw a match out there that many people don't talk about. Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy. I enjoyed that. WrestleMania 25 is low key very good. One of the matches that also involved Jericho when he took on all the legends, and you really got to see Ricky Steamboat still had it.
Oh my God, that one was insane.
Yeah, and the last go-to match that I'll leave y'all with will be one of the greatest tag team matches in WrestleMania history. You know, I didn't get the winners that I want, but the moments, and that is the Mega Powers. I mean, excuse me, Money Inc. taking on the Mega Maniacs at WrestleMania 9. What a match!
Is this that same WrestleMania 9 that you've been raving about?
It's so great. It is so great.
Can we move
But
on?
look, we ain't gonna be dissing WrestleMania 9. You feel me?
You know what, Brian? I'm gonna watch it over the weekend. I'm gonna rewatch WrestleMania 9.
No, because
Right.
you're gonna watch it with a older brain. You have to see. I watch it from my 6-year-old mind that was like loving wrestling and so happy that my parents ordered it. And my God, Bret Hart was in the main event and he lost. But then it was Hulk Hogan who came to the rescue. After Hulk Hogan rescued Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
So if you take emotions, you take nostalgia out of it from your standpoint, like whatever you was going through or whatnot, like what's the best WrestleMania to you?
He gonna still
Overall?
say. He gonna say 9.
Mm-mm.
9.
Mm-mm.
Like clear mind, and you just literally sat down and watched it.
I'm always torn between 19 and 17.
Now, which one had the TLC match? The first
17.
The TLC that was 7. That's always
Yeah.
gonna stick out of the 17
Yeah.
year because that was the triple threat for the Intercontinental European too, right?
No,
Yeah.
that was
Is that the same?
that was WrestleMania 2000.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about the triple threat: first fall Intercontinental, second fall European.
WrestleMania
was
I
2000.
was gonna mention that one. That was 2000.
Yeah, that was WrestleMania 2000 with Kurt Angle, Jericho, and
That card really
Yeah.
wasn't that
Benoit.
good though.
You know what it
No, I'm-
was? Because everything was there was no singles matches except the women's match, which had a special guest referee. So there was no
They
like,
crammed everybody into it.
yeah. And The Rock didn't go home as the champion. But yeah, for me, I would say between that one, it's so hard not to say 38 because with even though it was obviously a 2-card show, it felt like every match delivered, or every match had a moment, I should say, minus Charlotte and Ronda. But it was so much. But it's like I'm obviously be biased, right? But I look at 19 is so underrated because everybody loved 17 so much, and then 18 had Rock and Hogan, but 19 you had literally the last 5 matches could have closed the show. And I think if Brock Lesnar hits that that shooting star press, I think everybody thinks that's the greatest WrestleMania match ever. Or if he doesn't attempt it. But to me, it not because that was such a good match between him and Kurt that following the story of Austin Rock, following the story of McMahon Hogan, following Jericho and Shawn Michaels, they still went out there and held it on. So that's where I'm in with that.
And it held the audience because the whole time I remember being on my feet for that match, like, oh my God, they're still going. Oh, look at this. And even when he missed the shoot star, I was like, is he all right?
Yeah. Oof.
Because you kind of like, ooh, that was a tough landing.
But yeah, let's get ready to get into the show. I want to give a quick shout out Chris Jericho as they named Chris Jericho Way in Manitoba. Did y'all catch AEW tonight?
Negative grasshopper.
Yes.
Man, that
like
opening
I said,
promo.
It's always on in the background.
Well, I say this. MJF had his bar mitzvah party. We won't spend too much time on it, but
Love
I
the
really
suit, by the way.
Huh?
I love the suit, by the way.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the back and forth, and it felt like they was like, okay, here are our new stars. We got Sammy G in the ring, we got Darby Allin in the ring, and we got Jungle Boy Jack Perry in the ring with MJF. It's like, okay, this is our future right here, and everybody cut passionate promos, and it felt like, okay, he got him. Oh wait, but he got him. Then he got him. Then here comes MJF. So for the first time, I felt like really invested in all of their young guys. And so I thought that was good. I think we're starting to see the end of Jade's reign of terror because Taya Valkyrie's here. and I
That's right.
think it's a foregone conclusion that she's going to take the belt off Jade, which would be good. I think it's
I just
it'll be
hope she
fun.
don't get Ruby so old.
And she cut a promo tonight. Mm.
But you
but
okay? You think she's gonna be the one? I'm just worried. Now let me ask you this question, Brian. That
mhm.
happens. What happens to Jade? Women's champion?
Yeah, she'll go in the ring, beat a bunch of ladies up, and then she'll move up the ranks.
I hope, because that's the only reason I wonder if she loses the TBS, she's got to be the contender for the women's title.
Yeah, she needs to have some adversity, right? So um yeah, that's where I am with that. So, speaking of like women though, I want to give a huge congrats to Bianca Belair, the longest reigning and defending champion, black champion, including men and women, as far as single superstars. So, congratulations to her. I think she holds on to the title, but it's still early to tell. I love what her and Oscar are doing because I just really think this is a chapter one. I don't think they're going into I don't think it ends at WrestleMania. I think it just begins. How about you?
I'm a little torn because one notion I want Bianca Belair to have, you know how Becky Lynch was still an attraction without a belt,
Mm-hmm.
still closing out shows, still opening shows. I kind of want to see Bianca in that space, but it's sad to say that in 2023 we're still having the first something when it comes to African Americans, because I'm happy it happened to her because she deserves it. She's put the work in. She's 100% it. So I just want to see what else can she do without the title, or because she's going to do all these other ventures outside of WWE. Does she keep it so that in SummerSlam, her and Oscar still at it? Or what do you do? Like, I'm kind of torn between it because I don't want her to lose, but I want to see what else she can do. And I'm happy that she's the one to break this streak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like anybody else. I don't think it would have meant something, but for her to have that notch under her belt, because I feel like all the women have some kind of notch. Now she has that. Yeah, she headlined WrestleMania. Yeah, she did this. Yeah, she did. But now look, I'm the one that had the longest reign right now.
Yeah. Well, my thing with belts is always this. Shout out to the casual wrestler for tuning in. My thing will always be this, right? When
Mhm.
it comes to championships, I look at it like sports, right? Do we say Patrick Mahomes don't need the belt to need a Super Bowl? Do we say, we criticize? I think King Griffey Jr. is the greatest baseball player ever, and Barry Bonds. But the thing people will always say is they never had a ring. They don't have any hardware. Mike Trout, the best player in the game right now, and he doesn't have a ring. So I look at my wrestling the way I look at my sports. You know what I mean? So when I see what you're saying, but I also like her having the championship. And I think, when the time comes, she'll drop the title. But I think especially going into this new season, and especially with this reality show, I think, she'll hold on to it.
And she's a good person for that PR, because if you notice on Twitter, she's always somewhere with that belt.
Mm-hmm.
She's all like, I don't think that Bianca Belair has posed outside of WWE without the belt, which
No.
you get what I'm saying? Like, I love that she's getting that exposure. And my question to the world is, could she still have that exposure without the belt? And she deserves it, as she
Mm-hmm.
should, because she could always still be the face of WWE. But I'm saying the belt is like a nice accessory for her. But it's like she's already past the point of having a belt. You get
But
what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, she'll definitely bring it. You know what I mean? Like now she's champion. She's a made woman. So
yeah,
regardless,
I'm just
belt
scared.
or no belt.
I'm scared she's gonna get a movie deal and then she's gonna disappear from WWE and come back and you know what I mean? Like, I wish her all the best, but I'm like, oh no, let us keep riding this
I
Bianca Belair train.
I told him leave Roman alone, leave Bianca alone, man. Um, but let's get in. We'll get right into the main the title of the show. As Brandon, I've been very invested in this Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio storyline, and I think it's time for Rey to lay his hands on Dominic. Dominic been getting out of hand a little bit. He's been saying stuff that they said, please don't Sasha us. He's been saying stuff that I wouldn't dare say to my father. He's been saying, just been doing a lot. And he's been calling his father out, reminding him that he wasn't there for his special moments, that he was, wrestling, and this is why he deserves to be a Hall of Famer, because he put them in front of his family. And I'm like, you know what? I think Ray, he can only take but so much, and I think it's time. But I love the way this is going. I love the slow build, especially when you know where you're going to get there. I love the simmer of it all. You know what I mean? Because it's real. What father wants to fight their son publicly? You know what I mean? So it makes sense that he doesn't want to take this match, especially Rey Mysterio, the ultimate good guy. Like, Rey Mysterio wasn't a heel in WWE, not that I can remember. So it
I
makes
don't think he's ever been a
sense.
heel in WWE.
Yeah. So it makes the most sense. How about you? I know you
So-
want to see the cooking, but
I don't know how I feel about it because it's simmering. Like, remember, I take it back to remember the Linda McMahon thing. She was in a comatose state. Then WrestleMania happened. She stood up and kicked him. Everybody's like, "Oh, finally, yay, we got the payoff. Oh, that's what we need." I feel like with Ray, I'm like, it's about time. I don't feel like I'm gonna have that pop because we're 3 weeks out from Mania now? Are we 3 weeks?
yeah,
What-
about 2 now.
2.5, right? So
Mhm.
we know it's simmering, right? He's marinating. Triple H is doing his dust, right? How much more dust you gonna give us before you let us know it's happening? I just hope, and I really hope it's not a career match. Because
Now I'm with
even
you
though
on
he's
that.
going into even though he's going into the Hall of Fame, he could still be a Hall of Famer. Give him that Legends deal where it's a special attraction that he comes back on SmackDown. Like, if he's gonna wrestle him, I don't need a stake. I just need it to be a, Dominik versus Ray. But I don't know do you really want Rey Mysterio to go over on his son at WrestleMania, or do you want Dominik to put the nail in the coffin and it not be for the career? That's where I'm torn with, like, which way do we go with this? Because I'll be vested in the match to see the outcome.
Okay.
But I just feel the slow burn is starting to get to me because this has been going on
Really?
since when did he jump to SmackDown? It was last year, like September, October, because it was it was way before Thanksgiving, right?
It was about October. It was like after Extreme Rules.
So he jumped to get away from him. They did the thing on Thanksgiving. They did the thing on Christmas. The digs, cool. I get the dust is giving us the jabs, the hard jabs. You know what I mean? And it's like, who else could have had this story right now besides them two? It's really the first time we're seeing something like this because the McMahons, they're fighting. Okay, what we do? Yeah, okay, McMahon's fighting. Who cares? But them, you could tell this got some truth behind it, but it's all for the storyline.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
We saw Charlotte and Brick kind of have those same stories, but we wasn't gonna get that match. This is a match we can get. We can see, you've seen Dominik have the evolution, right? I'm glad it happened this way. I'm glad it wasn't just, oh, you know what, let's have a match because I want to be better than you. He said let's do a strap match. I mean, I'm definitely down for Dom for the win. He can have that and he can be 2-0 at WrestleMania. But
oh yeah, I forgot about that. He did. Now what about hair? Remember I mentioned it, hair versus career or something, and he shaved Dominik head.
Just do a mask. Just do the mask.
No, because I don't want Ray on that.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's true. Because then
I don't want Ray on that. Because you know what?
But
He's the last. Besides Dragon Lee, now he's the last luchador to not be unmasked. They literally unmasked everybody in their roster. Because Santos Escobar, remember, he got unmasked and he had a whole name change. He changed
it's funny.
everything.
It's funny, and Hugh appreciate this on the Masked Man show this Monday. Chaz said that Rey Mysterio's mask is like the Jordan 1s of luchadors and Lucha Libre mask because it's so iconic.
I never thought about it like that. That does make sense.
Yeah, you think of a mask, a Rey Mysterio mask, just like a Jordan 1. And I was like,
that's actually a really good. That actually makes sense. That's why I don't want him to lose it because I don't think nobody could wear it. Like when he gave it to Santos Escobar, I was like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
and I thought it was going to turn into he's in he's helping those guys along or something. But I mean, at one point, I was rooting for the Judgment Day versus what's the name of the group? Why am I drawing a blank? Santos Escobar group. What's the name of them?
Yeah,
Oh man,
their name always get me caught up, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You
I
was
was
rooting
like,
for that for WrestleMania?
well, I was saying I didn't know I wanted that match until they showed
Okay.
it. I was like, oh, this actually might be, because think about it, Damian Priest and Finn Balor with them and the way that they move. I was like, that actually. I just saw so much headlines. I'm like, that's actually a good match. And I was like, oh, never mind. They got to do Finn and what you call it again, Edge. So I was like,
Yeah.
but I didn't know I
Hell
wanted that match.
in
I
a
didn't know I wanted it.
cell.
I didn't know.
I'm
You think-
excited about this now. A Hell in a Cell match is something I'm always down for, and I'm glad. I think that means we won't get the pay-per-view.
Yeah, isn't that what he got rid of most of the gimmicky
Yeah.
things except for King and Queen of the Ring, and what's the other one they're doing? Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Yeah.
But they're overseas. They're not here, which makes sense. He's giving them something good. Like, I just hope that the women don't cash in on Money in the Bank in the same night again. Because anybody that gets the briefcase, they only want to cash in the same night.
But you know what, though? It makes sense when they do it, though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it made sense. All but the first time when Carmella, because remember Carmella, hers was the night after Mania, right? Because that's when the Iconics.
Well, she had to be built. You know, Liv's cash in made sense because Liv was really, if we want to be real, was on a now or never. You know what I mean? Because she had like some momentum, but not fully. So she was on a now or never type thing. So for her to cash in, especially on Ronda Rousey, and then set up their feud that allowed Liv to go to another dimension, I thought was cool. And I'm interested to see what they do with her for WrestleMania because she doesn't have a match yet.
There's a lot of good matches. But
yeah, Brother Hugh, what you think about Ray and Dom? You know, I said it's time for Ray to lay them hands on Dominik.
Man, you know how I feel about Ray.
No, we don't. How do you feel about Ray?
Man, he should have been gone, man. I'm tired of seeing him. Bye.
You're tired of seeing it, so you think Dominik should put him out the pasture?
I don't care because I don't really care for Dominik either.
What? He's hard.
Because you ain't do hard times, man. You ain't go to the pen.
Hey, Brian
Tell him
eats
again,
water.
Brian.
Thank you.
Tell him again. He do hard times.
Don't play with me with that. No, man. I'm tired. I'm just tired of seeing him. Get it over with. It's drawn out now.
Yeah.
Ray, put your hands on that man. Stop playing around. You're gonna let him keep pushing you around like you're a little kid, like you're a little 2-year-old. Nah, man. Smack that dude. Put him over your knee like Michael Scott did.
Wow.
You know?
Oh my God.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow. Well, let's move on. What's up, broadcast in the building? Appreciate y'all as always. Cody Rhodes cut a promo. Dylan Matthews in the building as well. I gotta say this, y'all. It's, you know, a month ago it was we want Sammy, push Cody to the side. We want Sammy. That joint's starting to balance, and Sammy's starting to be just he there. Top guy, but we don't need him. We want Cody. Y'all, the crowd reaction.
So I'm
Cody's
telling you what. I'm
Cody
telling
was
you,
always at the top, anyways, for me.
but it was we almost had a Sami Zayn mania, but Triple H cooled that off. It took him a little bit to cool it off, but now I think what's great about it. Not only did Triple H cool it off, he made you vested in what is Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and the Bloodline doing that don't even involve Roman. Even by injecting Cody in those little aspects, you're really okay. Cody, you go ahead and take care of Roman. But wait a minute, what's going on there? Because now, okay, Sami is still, yay, he's here. We get the but Cody is wrestling every week.
Yeah.
And he's not having just microwave matches either. He's showing you that I am actually a threat to Roman Reigns. And he's doing it with the microphone and in the ring.
Yep.
Let's
I
do
don't know
some
about
long-term storytelling.
this. Is like
That could
even to the
cost them.
point. Huh?
That could cost them. That could
Yeah,
cost Cody
that's the
because
point.
Roman
Just say it.
Reigns
Just say it.
not wrestling is resting, right?
Mm-hmm.
1993, every week, Bret Hart was wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He was a fighting champion. And who
For
was
the
waiting
people.
for him? Rodney Yokozuna Hawaii. And he beat him. That could happen this year. Roman was like, you burnt out, buddy. And he can't take down the tribal chief.
So all I'm gonna say about that, and I'll let you go here. The WWE Triple H had to make sure you knew what you were buying. He had to make sure that you saw your American hero. He had to make sure that the American Nightmare is front and center to be a threat. Because he can't just come out there in a nice suit and say, "Hey, I'm gonna beat Roman Reigns. See y'all in 5 weeks.
Oh,
Hey, I'm
absolutely.
gonna beat Roman Reigns and see y'all in 4 weeks. Hey, I'm gonna beat Roman Reigns. See y'all in 3 weeks. Hey, Paul Heyman, I'm gonna beat your guy next week. Here we are," and he don't beat him because nobody believes him. It has to be a, "Hey, I got you. Watch what I'm gonna do. Look what I can do. Look what I said. Yes, he was my father's favorite, but that's okay because I'm gonna do this for my family and for me because I have to." What did he say? He said, "I acknowledge you, but I have to beat you." The first opponent to actually acknowledge Roman Reigns, and he not acknowledged him the backdoor way. So I'm really nervous about this match. This is going to be the match. Here, you're going to be here. We're going to watch this together. This might be a Facebook Live react or something like as it's going down.
Yeah, I
Because
love that.
this is going to be. It has to be insane. I'm telling you right now, Brian. When you sitting at WrestleMania, if WrestleMania is going to end at 11, if they don't start their entrance at 10 o'clock, because you're going to need a half an hour for each entrance just by itself.
It's gonna be 7 o'clock over there.
And the crowd is going to be cheering for the first 10 minutes. Look what they did with Sami. Imagine this WrestleMania crowd with Cody and the Tribal Chief. It's going to be a half an hour before the match even starts.
I hope.
It's going to be it's going to be insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brother here.
Man, I'm back in the I'm chilling, man. I'm in the back seat chilling, man. Just like it's crazy that the way it was built up. It's built up perfectly.
Right.
Perfectly. Definitely had to ice down the Sami Zayn talk because everybody, oh my God, Sami, he might do it, but like you said, Triple H is clever and he found a direct way to handle that business. And he made it happen. And Cody, man, this man, I ain't know he had the fire mic skills like that, bro.
Well, you didn't watch him in AEW.
You ain't watching the Impact or
No,
ROH.
I did watch him in ROH.
So you've seen how he grew.
Yeah.
He got better and better every time.
Yeah.
What up,
Yeah.
Cortez?
But at the same time, it's like I was like, look, I'm ready because it's there's no way they're gonna bring Cody back. For as much as he grew, they're gonna bring somebody like Cody Rhodes back and let him sit and be second fiddle to Sami Zayn. No disrespect to Sami. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, he had to push away from the pack. It was just clever the way they did it. I was wondering how they was gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, let's we'll talk about Kevin Owens real quick. He's all alone. He made sure he told Cody, "Don't come help me." And man, did he get the stuff beat out of him. The Usos seem to be on the same page with Solo. Now we still don't know what Jay and Roman are at, but Kevin Owens, I mean, is there a chance? Is there a chance they swerve us and we don't get that tag match that everybody's been calling for?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope so.
Right. That's what I'm like at this point. Yeah, I hope so.
Because you said it best,
I-
Brian. I'd rather see Jimmy and Sammy, right? I keep
Jay
getting
and
loose.
Sammy.
Jay and Sammy. Then I want a
That's
tag match. I
mm-hmm.
would much rather like once you said, I'm like, I do want to see that more than anything else. Because right now, we know the outcome of anybody tagging with Kevin Owens. We know it.
Exactly.
We're gonna tune into every Raw and SmackDown to wait for him to turn. I mean, it might happen the same night, and then the belts
Remember
be
he did it
vacated
on the
the
New
next
Day.
night. Yeah, look, it might happen. Then the belts
Right.
be vacated the next night, and then here we go with a tournament to crown new champions at Backlash. So why do that and put the belts on? Like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see them in a tag, and I love that Triple H is doing it this way. I think it's. I would be surprised if it wound up being a tag match.
Yeah.
I do want to see the belts off of them though. I ain't gonna lie.
Why?
Just for the simple fact that you have other tag teams out here that you can build up, like and I'm eager to see like what they're gonna do with the Street Profits. What are they gonna do with somebody like the Viking Raiders?
Yeah.
They're whack as hell in the WWE. The War Machine, come on, bro. Like we know they can get down. So if you let them loose, you can have some great matches with some of these teams. Imperium, destined for greatness.
I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying?
but do they need the belts?
Well, that's what I was going to say because honestly, if you look at the Bloodline story, it's not even about the belts anymore.
But it is though.
No, because if you take the tag belts off of them, what have they done? They defended them twice in the last 2 months?
Mm-hmm.
Well, on TV.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that's what
they don't need them. The only time it was brought into the situation was when Jay disappeared.
Yeah,
will he show up? You know what I'm saying?
But they've been putting that work in. I see what y'all saying, but I mean the reason why they have the belts is for the exact reason what they're for, to show they're the best tag team and they're unstoppable.
We got that. I'm not saying he gotta lose all of them, but it's time for some of these other people to get some shine and let them like
I can agree with that if they let's say the Bloodline just ran SmackDown, right? And they just had the Universal Championship, the SmackDown Championships, and I feel give Solo that IC title. I can see that, but like I understand where y'all coming from, but I'm just
eager to see that new.
I like throwing up my ones.
So let me give you a scenario, Brian H. Waters. Let me give you a scenario. See if you like this one, Brian H. Water. The Bloodline are still between Raw and SmackDown, right? The Bloodline, because Brian H. Waters. I said it with S.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear the S.
Okay, I'm sorry. Brian H. Waters with an S. Here's a scenario for you. The Tribal Chief still has both belts, so they got to float between both shows with them because they're the Bloodline, right? They don't have the tag belts, but they're still a prominent force on Raw and SmackDown. But now that gives the tag teams a chance to shine, because did Triple H not make you one episode of Raw feel like the United States title was the most important thing on there? So couldn't he do the same thing with those tag belts and still keep the Bloodline story strong? Because in that one episode, I said, wow, I want to see this United States match. Or what he did for the Intercontinental Champion. Imagine how Imperium would look if Walter came to the ring with his tag team champions and he just standing on the ring with the Intercontinental Championship and they fighting any of those teams on SmackDown. But you still got the Bloodline later on in the show. Or their Bloodline starts the show and they close the show. You give them another dynamic.
So y'all want to take the titles off of them and still have them claim to be the island of relevancy.
Yes, because they're relevant now with Jimmy and Jay doing something different.
But this goes back to my sports reference. Are you really going to say, because then they become the Dallas Cowboys? They're getting all the TV time, but they but let's be real. They're getting all the TV time with no rings, right? But we never would say that about Patrick Mahomes.
But look at Solo.
Solo's up and coming. Like right now, Solo is he's up and coming. I ain't even gonna
But
try to make a
his
sports
matches are
reference.
getting, but his matches are getting showcased.
Yeah,
He's main
absolutely.
eventing without a belt, and he's main eventing as being the new guy. But they keep pointing out he's not been pinned, and they kind of want
Mm.
to throw out that he's undefeated. So the thing is,
But see, you know what
you
the thing with
acknowledge
him
him
is,
get.
he hasn't gotten a belt because he hasn't wanted it yet. That's the way
All
you
right,
book the Solo.
but look at New Day.
He did have one belt, but yeah,
He
go
did
ahead.
have one for like a week. But look at New
But
Day. You keep putting New Day in these prominent roles because they're the New Day without the belts or with the
Exactly.
belts. Street Profits the same way, but they don't have to. The thing is, you keep trying to book the Bloodline like they are a tag team, and I'm saying book them like a unit. That you don't have to realize that you don't need that title of I'm the best tag team in the world. Oh, I ain't got the belts. No, we're saying that storyline can still be dominant, and that storyline can be something that I want to watch because I'm still watching it whether they got both belts or no belts because even with the civil war brewing between Jimmy J and then Solo just sitting there, I still want to see it. I feel like they're just holding the belts hostage that I could be watching. All right, the show kicked off, but I know I got this later on. Oh,
remember,
this kicked off.
remember, what did Roman tell us from the beginning? Everybody eats because he's the head of the table. In order to be the head of the table, he needs the strap. And the
I'm
same
not
thing
saying
he
him
needed.
lose it.
No, but I'm saying the Usos need to fall in line. He said, "Look, I got mine. Y'all need to get yours."
I think that's ship and sailed.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Y'all
Okay.
hold on.
Or
So that's all I'm saying. I think that, and I'm with you, Hugh. I think that they could do not necessarily a really good story, but it still could be the main talking points of the show with them without the belts. And I know that people might disagree. I think that they just holding on to the trinkets because everybody care about solo matches, and he has no belts. I thought it was neat when he won the North American title. Is he
I
going
thought
to
it
take
was
that
cool
Continental?
too.
Yeah. Is he going to take the Intercontinental off the Gunther? No. Is he going to take the U.S. one off? No, because he's holding that for Cena. But
And
would
that's
he?
remember I was talking to you earlier, and when I was talking about the European title, bringing that back or something like that, another mid card. Is that
The
something you
flip.
want that you would need to do now? Because it seems like the U.S. title is not going anywhere, and also with Gunther, the IC title ain't going anywhere. So now you got the other two belts held hostage. You see what I'm saying? And it's like you still have a nice core of mid card talent. Yeah, they keep cycling them in, trying to, wrestle, get the belt, but it's not working.
So I guess I'm just going to say this, and then maybe we can move on. If
Hmm.
it wasn't WrestleMania season, I would say bring something else for them to do. But I really believe after WrestleMania, the main titles are going to get split, and we're going to have two separate champions. So we wouldn't need it because they got to change the focus a little bit because with one person being a dominant star, and now you're going to have two world champions. And let's
Hmm.
be honest, Sheamus needs that WrestleMania moment this year to get that Intercontinental belt, and that's going to open the
Yeah.
door for other people to be front and center. Even if
Mhm.
Cena doesn't win the United States belt, that's gonna open the door for Theory to drop it to somebody. He ain't gonna be United States champion next year this
Mhm.
time. But now I
Yeah,
think the hold on these belts are gonna start. The grip is gonna start being loosened.
we're gonna find out. But
But now on to how about that Brock Lesnar man and face to face with almost,
that's what I was going to say. We're gonna close out the show with
almost,
that one.
almost. Oh wait a minute, you want to
So
close out with that or Bray Wyatt? Which
no,
one you want
no,
to tackle?
we scrapping Bray, and
Okay, good.
it's the same, right.
Okay,
We will close with Brock and Omos.
almost.
This is I said this. I'm excited for this match. Now, I'm not gonna be one to pick apart Omos for what happened at the over the top rope thing. Um, but the fact that they were both in the ring together, that look, if you're not a wrestling fan, right? But you know who Brock Lesnar is, and you turn on the TV, you're like, oh, wait a minute. Can Brock beat that guy? So if you step out of the wrestling bubble And Dylan said it right here. Brock, F5, and Omos would be worth the price of admission. Because it's like, wait, can he do it? Now, I think this is huge, and I'm really excited for this for WrestleMania. And I think that, now we've seen a lot of times when we see these legends, right? We see legend and a dream match scenario, Hogan Rock, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels. Here we're getting legends bringing up, as I said earlier today, uplifting the new stars. So down the line, like if you look at WrestleMania 8, it was Jake the Snake versus The Undertaker, right? Undertaker, that's only his second WrestleMania match. His first WrestleMania match was Jimmy Snuka. But at the time, Undertaker, yeah, he was a special attraction. You knew it was like, okay, this is a big deal. But he's going against legends. Now, when you look back at his history, it's like, wow, he beat Jake the Snake. He beat Jimmy Snuka. And that's how it's going to be for Omos. Like, if he was in the ring with Brock Lesnar, he was in the ring with this one. And let's just say this man's a world champion 3 WrestleManias from now or 3 years from now in general. So I'm excited for it. And it doesn't have to be the greatest match. It doesn't have to be a 5-star match, but it's going to be a moment for sure.
It will not be the greatest match. I get the whole concept. I get the whole concept behind it because WWE just wanted to give you that look. They wanted to give you that, like you said, if you're coming from the outside looking in, they're trying to give you that Hogan Andre look. You know
and that's what Dylan just said.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Dylan just said that.
He literally just said that.
He just said that.
Well, look, I'm with you.
On the same
That's
page.
exactly what they're trying to give you. Big dude, Brock, well known. That's your man. Oh, can he tackle this obstacle? That's it. Plain and simple. It's not about who wins, who does this, who does that. Because we all know Brock Lesnar is gonna get in there and put in work. Brock is playing with this dude. I am eager to see how well Omos does though. Because he's getting another chance. Like it's obvious that someone likes him in the back because he's getting chances to be in the ring with these guys like Bobby Lashley. Brock Lesnar. So I'm just eager to see if he's learning, if he's going to progress a little.
Yeah, I know one thing. Last year he rapped and he freestyled the Jay-Z. Oh, he rapped Jay-Z at Wale Mania. So I hope he do the same thing.
He too big to be doing that.
It was. From what I was told, it was hilarious. It was so much going on. Like I remember the whole night. But it was so much going on that I don't remember. Like I met him, took a picture, and then next thing I know, I saw him on stage, and I like turned around and like started hanging out with the homies or whatever. But yeah, if y'all going to Wale Mania, let me know. Yeah, let me know. Let's link, connect. The whole 9. But any final thoughts, gentlemen, before we get out of here?
Can we just appreciate Brock Lesnar's character work over the last ponytail Brock? I'm gonna say because where has this man been for the last? We ain't seen this
Paul Heyman
character work. That's Paul Heyman. He didn't need a mouthpiece at all. He's showing it because
just need freedom.
This Brock, he just looked like we're seeing him more, and his segments are. I'm like, oh, what's he gonna say now? What is he gonna do? Because when that man with the whole alcohol thing, that was actually funny to me. He said, come on, let's drink to it. And I'll tell you that I don't think he gets enough credit for his mic work because they keep talking about, oh, Monster. And all I keep thinking about is when, not Corey Grave, Pat McAfee said, I'm sorry, I just came back. This is my first day. Don't remember he said that to Brock. But it's everything about Brock Lesnar right now is, I don't want to say must see because that sounds bad. But
no,
you can tell
though.
It is.
Brock Lesnar will come on your TV.
He's gonna go out there. It's probably gonna be a 5-minute match. Let's call it what it is, but it's gonna be those 5 minutes that you're like, he really F5 this man. He really Suplex City this man. You know what I mean? Like, and he's gonna sell it. But I hope it's just not a gateway to Hurt Business reunion.
Why not?
I do, because we ain't gonna sit here and disrespect no Bobby Lashley. First of all, because we're not talking about him on this show. You want to scrap the segment with Bray Wyatt? We ain't gonna do that. Bobby Lashley is the man, the Almighty, aka Little Bill. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So here, let me clarify what I mean. I think the Hurt Business reunion is inevitable. I just don't want it at the expense of this match being the sacrifice for
I
it.
feel you. I feel you.
We
You know what I'm
don't.
saying?
But see, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. We might not get a Hurt Business reunion.
Nah, we
We
won't.
might get a Hurt Business, and Bobby might get his wishes. It's been
Yeah,
reported
2.0.
that he said, I say reported because I didn't hear it myself. I didn't listen to the interview, but that he said that he wanted to team with Brock.
Oh, that's
So
Yeah, I heard that too. That's going to be insane if them two team.
we could get that at and now they're gonna take belts off the Usos. But yeah, we could get that.
that's what I'm saying. Like, so now what you gonna do? Usos
Saudi Arabia
still
is
at the
coming
bite.
up.
Like you know, like
Saudi is coming.
let's be
Saudi
real, bro.
Arabia is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, but look at if them two team. First off, neither one of them had tag belts ever, have they?
No.
Nah, not at all.
Well, Brock only had world championships. Like, let's call it that. But you know, I do believe, and Brian, you close to the business to me. When wrestlers want certain belts, they find a way to give it to them. Look at AJ. AJ wanted that tag belt to be a Grand Slam champion. What happened? They found a way to give it to him.
Omos.
Sheamus needs that Intercontinental. Sheamus needs that Intercontinental. They find even though it's taking a little longer, I'm okay with him getting his Mania moment out of it.
It's gonna be them two versus Hogan and Goldberg.
Oh my gosh, no.
Okay. So
on that note. Oh man, gentlemen, how y'all feeling? Y'all we did another one. And we ain't go all the way to the midnight oil, brother.
Dwayne buried the midnight oil. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Snap it to the Slim Jim.
Right.
Well, let the people know where they can find y'all.
No way, Dylan. Gunther is going to lose at Mania, brother. He is going to lose. And I will be on Facebook Live with doing that match too, so you can see.
Shout out to Carlos. Pro Wrestlers Forrest Gump. Can't wait to see him in LA. But yeah,
run, Forrest, run.
Hey, look,
so
every
here
big
we
moment,
watching Mania
Carlos
together,
was
right?
there.
Here we're going to watch Mania together.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
We got to shoot
That's for
some.
sure.
We got to go live. Be like, B Waters, look what we doing. Brian H Waters, look what we're doing. Brian,
Y'all
look.
just make sure y'all take care of the studio.
I'm
I
gonna
just found out
tag you in
somebody
it.
did. I just found out they doing something at my daggone house. I'm like, dang, ain't nobody trying to tell me nothing. Okay.
Oh, for Mania?
Yeah, both days. I'm like, oh snap, okay.
I can always go
Nah.
live at his share if we
Pay
can
attention to
have
my
a
social
reaction.
media. At Brian H. Waters.
Brian ain't playing.
Where can they find you at, Brian? How can
Right
I follow
there.
you?
Brian H. Waters everywhere. Actually been on TikTok too. Been doing a lot
Say
of
it again. I'm
TikToking.
sorry. What was it? It's Brian H Waters on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
Just Google
What else?
me.
Just
That's
there
it.
you go.
Ooh.
Or
yes.
BrianHWaters.com.
Him.
And Carlos said he's been 10 through 35. Looking forward to the show. Awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is
He is a WrestleMania.
That's
alumni.
that's that dude, bro. Carl,
Yeah,
that's that
he's a-
dude.
I told y'all he every big moment. Follow his Twitter. Every big moment he done been there. He was right there when Austin stunned McMahon. He shout out to him. He's on the Book of Wrestling. The Stone Cold episode, I believe it was. Man, we did so many. So yeah, y'all make sure. No, you ain't got problems, man. No problems at all.
No, there's no problem. I'm envious. He's been to that many Manias. I haven't been to one yet.
See,
Yeah, you are.
next year.
When is it coming to
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. I'm going.
I'm mad they ain't bringing it to Baltimore, but you know.
We
What for?
can't hold Mania.
Why?
We not big enough.
Yes, we can.
I don't
If you
think we're
can
big
put
enough.
it in the if you can put it in the link, you can put it in freaking
M&T.
M&T Bank. And that's all I'm gonna say.
You think M&T is big enough?
Yeah.
But listen to what I'm saying. Look around M&T. Do you think that's big enough to hold Mania?
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine now because they
People
just
be
signed
standing
that.
at Arundel Mills driving up here.
Bro, they just
So?
signed that contract and they building that bad boy up now. They put a top golf. They put all that extra stuff around there.
I mean, if they had a Mania here, I'll rip my house out to wrestling fans. Be like, come on.
No, you
Hey.
wouldn't. You don't like people.
All right, it's like 3 of them.
That's wild.
But yeah, well, yeah, let's get out of here, fellas, because I'm tired. I ain't gonna lie. It's crazy. I did 2 shows instead of the normal 3, and I think that middle show keeps me up. So by time, but like today, it's like, man,
You did that.
Man, what a party at? Where they at? Where y'all watching Mania? Y'all let us know. Hit us up, Twitter, Facebook,
Man, you
all
know the
social
flex zone
media
going to Jimmy's.
at Wrestling Realm. Forget the Flex Zone. It's like, nah, I'm messing with y'all.
I was like, what they do to you? Dang. Dang. You.
No, those are my boys. Those are my boys. But yeah.
I look forward to tagging some people, and we're going to start a WrestleMania thread the day of the show, so that way we can put it all in there.
Feel free to reach
And
out.
Always
hey,
see
y'all,
what's going.
get on Facebook too. Join the Facebook group. And get
Right.
that
Hey.
popping again.
Hey B, do you need the version 2 of your belt for WrestleMania? You want to carry the red one to Mania? Or you going to stick to the solid black?
Let's stick to the black, yo.
All right. Y'all can see I offered it. The version 2.
All right. Well, y'all know where to find them as we get ready to get out of here. So long, everybody.
Houston, we have a problem.
All right, y'all. We out.
Yeah, I'm going to bed.